Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. My name's Chris and today we're going to be checking out the new Husky Tools 144 position ratchet as well as this mechanics tool set here. So let's open it up and take a look and see what we get inside. So we get a ton of sockets with this. We start out with our 1/4 inch drive 4mm up to 14mm, all in shallow sockets, and then we get our deep 1/4 inch drive sockets in 4mm up to 14mm as well. Now these do skip that 4.5mm, and then for metric 3/8 inch drive we get a 6mm, skipping no sizes going all the way up to 19mm. So then we take a look at our SAE. For our 1/4 inch drive we get 3/16 up to 9/16 in shallow sockets, and then we get the exact same 3/16 up to 9/16 in our deep well sockets. And then we have our SAE in 3/8 inch drive go from a 1/4 inch all the way up to 15/16. So when we look up here in the top of the case, we have a complete metric deep well socket set. This is 8mm all the way up to 19mm, as well as we have our SAE deep well sockets in here, and that starts at 5/16 and goes all the way up to, there it is, 7/8 of an inch. And interestingly enough, this socket set also comes with some Torx bits here. It's got a T20, and that goes all the way up to a T55. Now they aren't security bits, so they don't have the hole drilled out. You also get some hex drivers here. These down here are all in 1/4 inch, and you get a couple metric ones as well. And then we have some additional hex bit drivers here in 3/8 inch drive for both SAE and metric. So as we continue to look at this set, really well rounded, a lot of items, not a lot of filler. You get a bunch of extensions. You get two 3-inch extensions, you get a 2-inch extension, and then three 6-inch extensions. And even this one up here, this is a wobble extension. Don't see that too often in the sets. And they also have your reducer and your adapter down here. And if we look at one of these sockets here, you can see on the back it's got that dual internal detent ball system. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of that locking system. And then here you can see it's got shallow broaching, and again, these are just classic Husky decent sockets. They get the job done, no frills, but they just work, and that's sometimes what you want. But what really works for me in this set are these ratchets. Man, these 144 position ratchets are just like gear wrench ratchets, except for they are with quick release and they are just a slight bit longer. So this 1/4 inch ratchet comes in at just over 5.5 inches, while the 3/8 inch drive comes in at 9.25 inch, which again is slightly longer than the gear wrench ratchets. So let's go look at these side by side and just see how decent these ratchets truly are. And if you were to compare the gear wrench 120 XP to the Husky, you can see that there is about 1 extra inch in length. So if we were to crack these open and look on the inside, we could see that they're nearly identical. You can see the double stack of pawls. So one thing I also forgot to mention was there is a little rubber gasket that rides along in here to help seal out any contaminant. And that's also on the 3/8 inch drive one. So we'll go ahead and put that right back in there. Go ahead and bundle this up. So we'll get into some of the testing here of the ratchets. We're going to be doing a testing on the chrome. We're going to beat these on metal and drop them on the concrete. We are going to also put them on the torque meter and see just how much these will take. So let's go ahead and start banging these ratchets around. So now we do a 36-inch drop test from here. So we're able to scuff it up just a little bit, but I'm really impressed. That chrome is really holding up on there very nicely. So you can see a little scuff marks there, but all in all, and that's really impressive. I'm really impressed. Usually that just scuffs the all living heck out of there. But no, we're doing really good. Man, I want to whack that one more time. A couple scuff marks. I'm just really impressed with that. That chrome is really hard. So the Husky 144 position ratchet touts an ultra tight arc swing, so we're going to compare it to a standard 72 tooth ratchet as well as the 120 XP and just see how they compare. And the last one up is the Husky ratchet. So we got 13. So the chrome on the Husky's holding up. It's got the tightest arc swing. It's really versatile. Let's go put it in some real world functional use, and then we will stress test that thing just to see how strong it is afterwards. So it had no problems on the exhaust header bolts, and it tightened and loosened them without any issues. We were able to reach in on the inner fender of this 64 Chevy Impala Super Sport and had no issues with access. So I'm loving these ratchets. Had no issues with them in any real-world functional testing. I did a lot more than this, but you know, this car just was nice to show in the video, and I had fun using these ratchets. Now let's go get to those stress tests, and I can't wait to see what kind of foot-pounds these ratchets put up. So first we'll start off with a couple test pulls. Now I definitely don't show them all in video, but I typically do 20 or more hand pulls just to get all the internals warmed up, make sure there's no slippage of anything, and typically, you know, I don't have any issues. If I do, I note them, but this ratchet is continuing to perform flawlessly, and it's a really nice ratchet. The internals are so fine, and there is so much stopping force on these that it's just tearing through these torque numbers. You know, just threw up a 58.6 by hand there, it is just one tough ratchet. So the 1/4 inch drive Husky 144 position ratchet threw up great numbers. We got a 65.9 foot-pounds that we put out with this ratchet for being a ultra fine tooth ratchet. You know, you would never put up the numbers that we did in the real world on a ratchet like this. And of course, you know, we had to use a cheater bar to break it. So this ratchet, you know, it didn't have any slippage. It didn't skip. I mean, it's a really, really fantastic ratchet. And the sounds of the internals here, you know, we purely just broke that drive on there. And if we had a rebuild kit, man, we would be back in business. So that being said, let's go test out that 3/8 inch drive and see what kind of numbers we can throw up with that. So putting this Husky 144 position 3/8 inch drive ratchet into action, I'm hoping we can hit over 225 foot-pounds for our max torque, and by hand, I'm hoping we can get like 130, maybe 150, but we'll just see what happens. Now that's freaking impressive. 200 foot-pounds on that Husky 144 tooth 3/8 inch drive. I'm impressed. And you want to know what's not impressive? Somebody forgot to autofocus this, so I am so sorry. At least you can still just barely read the screen. That's interesting. That's never happened before. So here's the interesting thing. We found the pawls. There's not a single ounce of damage on those. Wow. Impressive. So we did end up shearing the anvil off. And all in all, if we had a rebuild kit for this, we'd be able to put that thing right back together and put it in use. Since I only have one of those Husky 144 position ratchets and I can't really make up for that mistake, the best that I can do is take the Husky 100 position 15 inch ratchet. This is a 3/8 inch ratchet as well, and go ahead and put this in the torque test. This is the older style ratchet. It's got that black oxide finish on it. You know, some people really like that matte black. I personally didn't care for it because it chipped too easy, and then it's like you had to carry around a personal Sharpie just to heal that ratchet up. But it looked great, and it's throwing up some fantastic numbers here by hand. I mean, look at that. We're throwing out 202.7 foot-pounds. This is like a built-in breaker bar. So let's go ahead and take this to the max and see what happens. So again, we had a dry failure on that one. All the internals sound good. If we had a rebuild kit, this thing would be back in business again. So man, I'll tell you, these are some great bang for your buck strong ratchets. So guys, I'll let you glance over the back of the package here, but my final thoughts on these are if you don't already own an ultrafine ratchet, or you haven't tried out the Gear Wrench 120 XP, or you do like the Gear Wrench 120 XP and you always wanted it in quick release, this is definitely going to be one of the ratchets for you. If you want just a decent, well-rounded, full coverage 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch drive metric and SAE set, this is a great starter kit. And I'll let you know, I myself personally do own Husky tools. I have for quite some time, so whether you own the old Husky Pro stuff or the new 144 position ratchets, the Husky tools always carry that lifetime warranty. And as always guys, work smarter, not harder, and I'll catch you in the next video.